swear there's tiny hairs all over my face. Okay, that's fine. So today I'm going to be talking about the difference between cream and powder blush. First of all, I did set underneath my eyes, but I didn't like touch my cheeks. But I am going to set whichever side I do my powder on, I guess this side, with a little bit of the Juvia's Place, not this is a highlighter. Fuck, why do I always lose it as soon as I need it? I don't understand. Oh, it's right here. White Sands. I only do this if I feel like my base is a little bit dewy, and I kind of feel like this is a little bit too dewy for the powder. So I'm going to use my White Sands setting powder by Juvia's Place, which is just like a really nice light vanilla. And I'm going to be applying that with my e.l.f. concealer sponge. So I'm literally just going to dip it into the cap, a little bit in the cap, and then just basically mattifying this area so that it doesn't stick. Okay, so a little bit more matte, a little bit more dewy. You wanna make sure that you are applying your creams before you go in with your powders. Now, as far as brushes go for this, I kind of use a lot of them interchangeably, you know, like I'll use brushes that I use for powders for creams as well. I don't know, I'm not super picky about it. For the powder today, I'm gonna be using this brush by the Makeup Institute. It doesn't have a name, but it's just kind of like a nice little dome brush. Couple other brushes that I like. This is the Sigma Large Angled Contour Brush. I like contoured brushes a lot of the time for blush. I don't know, just nice. This one's, I believe it's synthetic. It feels synthetic, but it's super soft, so that's really nice. I think that's what I'm gonna use today. I also like the Morphe M405 angled fluffy brush. I would use, this is perfect for like creams and powders in my opinion. And then sometimes I use the M510, which is, I believe, a highlighting brush, but I don't know, sometimes I use this for bronzer, sometimes I use it for blush, for contour, like it's a very versatile brush, you know? Precision. So I'm gonna be applying the powder blush first, and for that, I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted Scented Blush in Just Curious. It's just a really pretty peach shade. It's got kind of like a really fine gold pearl in it, so it's excellent for like light to fair, warmer skin tones. If you're olive, this is the kind of like tone that I would go for. So I'm just going to pick a little bit up on my brush. I always tap my brushes off no matter what the product is. And then it is scented, it smells like peach. That's not bad. The place that I like to place my brush, well, it is my brush with my blush on it. If you saw my blush video, I like to keep it a little bit higher up on my cheekbone, so rather than bringing it down here. And I like to do a patting motion because I think that it applies and blends the product nicely without removing any of your other makeup. You can do like kind of a sweeping motion if you want, but once you have like a setting powder down on top of your foundation, I don't know, I feel like once that's down, it can be easy to remove sometimes. I don't know, it's just preference. So I like to kind of like focus it in the area where I want that pigment and then just slowly start blending it outward. I don't want to take it down too far. And then, you know, like occasionally I'll take it like up here a little bit, maybe just like blend a little bit onto the cheek. Or basically just kind of creating that like nice glow. So this blush itself does have like a sheen. I don't know how well you guys can see it. Yeah, I don't know if you can really tell, but it does have like some pearl in it. So it has like a really nice healthy kind of glow to it. But so there's kind of like a little bit of depth in my skin, you know, but it's not dewy. This obviously is going to be a great option for those of you who have dewier skin, who want to achieve maybe a more satin to matte finish, but you don't want your skin to look like dry. You know what I mean? Now, for the other side, again, it's going to be a lot easier to apply your cream blush if you don't have any powder down on your face. So the blushes that I'm going to use, I'm obviously going to try to do something this color, are Fenty, Cheeks Out, Petal Poppin', and Fuego Flush. So this is Petal Poppin', which is just kind of like a nice basic pink. It's kind of like a neutrally pink. It's like a little cool toned, a little bit warm. I don't really know. I was confused when I first saw it, but I actually really like it. And I'm gonna be mixing it with Fuego Flush, because if you compare these two, this is just like so unnecessary, the information, but if you compare them, you know, I feel like mixing these, this is almost like the base and this is like the top of this shade. Does that make any sense? Anyway, typically I would just like take my brush and pat in like this, but I'm actually gonna mix them on the back of my hand so I can make sure that I'm getting the right shade. Now these are a really nice formula because they are actually kind of sheer. They're not too pigmented. They do have, well, Fuego Flush has a pearl in it. I don't know if Petal Poppin' does. No, Petal Poppin' is kind of like just a regular old whatever. But the formula isn't too wet. So if you do have dewy skin and you're interested in cream blush, you don't really have to like worry about it being too wet, you know? We got pretty close, huh? It might be a little dark. Using my Sigma brush, I'm going to pat it on the back of my hand, picking up that product. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to literally do the same thing. Oh, it's brighter. Damn it. So starting in the place where I want, god damn, is that pretty. Ooh, look at that glow. So same deal. What I like about this is the the bristles are a little bit more bouncy. So you can kind of feel it like bounce across your skin. So we're treating it the same way, starting it in this area where I want like the most pigment and then slowly blending it outward. God, that's pretty. Fuck, that's really pretty. Okay. All right, now if we look at the difference, you can see just like the hint of that pretty color, right? But we still maintain that like nice, healthy glow, but it doesn't look wet, really pretty. And then if I turn, similar, but a little bit more matte. Anyway, I know that seems like really basic, but I just wanted to show you that the application is pretty similar. You do want to make sure that you're going in with your creams, all of your creams before you go in with your powders. If you're applying your powder and then you're going in with your cream, listen, sometimes you can make it work, but typically you want to do creams, all your liquids and creams first before powder. And if you are looking for a cream blush that isn't too wet, definitely Fenty nailed it. That's it. I don't know how to sign off. I feel like I always do the awkward goodbye, but I'm like kind of over it, and now I don't know what to say. So I guess awkward goodbye for the win.